As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. I was born into freedom in a wonderful land of mountains and plains, rivers and lakes. Forever American is what I am. A past as rich as any can be. My father's worked hard to give this to me. I love this place I come from. To live another way I cannot foresee. As an American, I eat apple pie, play baseball under its blue skies. As an American, I travel this land and follow her roads wherever I can. From sea to shining sea, I've seen a lot, and none of it will be forgot. And when my country called, I gave my all as an American. As an American, I've been to the peaks of majestic mountains where the air is sweet. I've watched the eagle as it's
Well, good evening. Let's get the show on the road. How you guys doing tonight? Hi, Debbie Martin, Debbie Rogers, Nana, Tia, Richard, Matt, Teresa, Alex, Pam, Karen. How you guys all doing tonight? Hit that share button to get us out there as far as possible, because you know Facebook's like shadow banning us. Make sure you hit that follow button during the page if you're not following the page already, because we need lots of followers. Lots going on though out there. Trump, of course, fined another $10,000 in New York fraud trial for violating a gag order. Ridiculousness. The judge is ordering to pay $10,000 for violation. The second fine relating to this ridiculous case in less than a week. You know, this gag order supposedly is legal or lawful, but it's a joke. I mean, Trump was ordered to testify on Wednesday after judge, of course, questioned whether he violated the gag order by appearing to reference the judge's law clerk during remarks to reporters. Now, this is the question. He made remarks, didn't say a name, so it's questionable whether he violated the gag order or not, because appearing to reference to somebody and actually referencing them to him is a far more realistic thing. The problem is, Trump left court after Cohen's testimony, or yesterday. He appeared today, and he walked back some of the statements he made earlier the day, whether Trump asked him to inflate numbers on financial statements. And he said, basically, Trump never asked you to inflate numbers on his financial statements. And Cohen said, correct. Of course, Trump went out, told reporters outside the courtroom, the witness just admitted that he won the trial. The judge should end the trial immediately. The judge is very bipartisan, of course. The person was very bipartisan sitting alongside him, perhaps even more partisan than he is, Trump told reporters. So the judge decided that Trump made a defamatory, disparaging, and untrue comments about his law clerk Is that true? No, because these are true statements. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The judge basically hit him with violating a gag order when he never said the name, just said the person sitting next to him. And then Trump said that he said that Trump made defamatory and disparaging and untrue comments when he violated the gag order today. He didn't. The only comment he made was that the judge and the person sitting alongside him are very partisan, and maybe the person sitting alongside him is more partisan. We know that's true. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's all unfolding today. And Gaetz, of course, was glad that Johnson got in there, as Johnson now is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana. Of course, he got in there today. Gaetz told reporters that it was worth it. To everyone who said, I didn't have a plan, this is the guy sitting next to me for 7 years in the House Judiciary Committee, he added. I hope my mentorship has rubbed off. Now, Johnson is another heavy Trump supporter, wanting to, of course, get money, stop sending money broadly to Ukraine. And, of course, go back to constitutional law. He's really a constitutionalist at heart. He's not paid for. He's not bought and paid for. He does the right thing. So we'll have to see what he does. I think he's going to be great at the job that he's going to be doing for the country. And for the right reasons. Yeah, Starlink failing. I'm going to get into all that in just a minute. As you know, yesterday, we had some information that there was a president was pulled into the briefing room again. I'm not going to say why or why not, but no, he was. When he was supposed to be recording a speech, because it wasn't live. But the intelligence agencies right now are stating that this could get worse. This could get worse. And I know people don't like hearing that, but it's true. As we're seeing, of course, what's happening and unfolding in the Middle East, in the Israel and Hamas war, and the relief efforts that are trying to be happening. We know that there's been several groups together today. That's Hezbollah, Iranian, and Hamas leaders all got together today. It's big news. Big news. It's craziness. People aren't paying attention to what's happening, but they need to. Because as Islamic and jihadist leaders discuss how to achieve victory today, the head of the Lebanese Hezbollah, top leaders from Palestinian militant fractions around the globe discuss their alliances and what they must do to achieve their real victory for the resistance. It's not good. Iran, of course, is part of the Iran-backed regional alliance that heavily arms Hamas, may have nuclear weapons. A couple of things happened today. Biden's probably going pasture at this point anyways, but there's a fear that there will be heavy exchange in the next couple of days. There was another attack on a military base today in Syria. Soldiers were injured. Watching massive movements from China. 6 ships of Chinese ships are now in the Mediterranean. North Korea is saying it's ready to launch at any given moment if an attack on more Muslim citizens or Palestinians happens. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The increased death tolls on both sides are just ridiculous. And what's unfolding and what keeps unfolding at this point just means that we're going to have to deal with everything that's unfolding. Like, literally, we are going to have to deal with it because our government's not. Our government doesn't care. U.S. intelligence agencies believe the hospital blast was caused by a Palestinian shoulder-launched rocket, once again, that fell apart. That's what they're stating. This is crazy. Of course, at the same time, the U.S. intelligence officer saying with low confidence that it was launched by a Palestinian Islamic Jihad. With low confidence. Once of all, if you guys could see the videos and the pictures that came out, it's just crazy. It is crazy that they would even try to claim this. I had some images I was going to show you. I don't know if I put them on the computer, though. Hold on one second, so I can make them on my computer really quick. It's ridiculous watching this unfold. Literally. As we turn around every day now, there's more unfolding. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. People need to wake up at some point. I know it's hard to say that, and hard to hear myself say it even more, that American citizens need to wake up and realize what's happening. Something has to happen. I mean, it really does. Watching these sickening things unfold, and it is sickening. One thing after another, though. It's literally a problem. Not just a problem for the people, of course, of these foreign nations, but a problem for people here at home. If you guys haven't seen any of the pictures of the fire that was raging after this explosion of now supposedly a small rocket, shoulder-fired rocket. I mean, you could tell it was obvious if you could even had that image. You could see it was obvious that that's not what happened. So the hospital attack is now being blamed on a small rocket, which we can keep blaming it on that all we want. Just another drop in the bucket at this point. Watching this unfold, though, just crazy. Absolutely crazy. And somehow I just got logged out of Facebook while I was on the computer. But anyways, we'll get that fixed. Watching this all unfold day after day, as more negative news comes out, more negative information about what's happening in the Middle East, and what the plans are for Hamas and plans for Iran, that of course want to move in, want to have a war. We know that's what our government wants at this point. We see it unfolding. If you don't, we have massive amounts of ships in the Middle East right now, in the Mediterranean. Chinese vessels joining us there now. Just crazy. It is on crazy. It's just beyond crazy. I don't know how else to say it. Be prepared. Worry about strikes. Worry about not having food or water. Worry about not having the minor necessities. It's just sad. The absolute terrors that are unfolding day by day, the issues that we're having to uncover, the issues that Americans are having to deal with. I wish there was an easier way at this point. Massive fires coming from a attack that never happened. The Middle East joining together, joining hands basically, to what they have to do to, of course, win this war is their involvement. At the same time, Israel saying they want to purge all the Islamic terrorists or whatever they want to call them. But watching these airstrikes kill massive amounts of citizens in the Gaza Strip and not having a big effect on Hezbollah or Hamas. But now, of course, the IDF saying it wants to target Hamas, Hezbollah, and Syrian militaries on a large, wide-scale strikes across the Middle East. So the Israel Defense Force now plans to carry out wide-scale strikes, not just in neighborhoods in Gaza Strip, but across the Middle East. I know you guys haven't heard about this because this is a problem. It's a problem that's only getting worse. Watching this unfold is just devastating. If they have their way, if they actually do what they're talking about doing, there's no stopping World War III. There's not. The IDF, of course, say it also killed Hezbollah militants today in neighboring Lebanon who tried to launch missiles and rockets against Israeli forces yesterday. 2 rockets were fired from the Israeli neighboring Syria. It's crazy. As, of course, this war grows out of control, Biden, of course, wrapping himself up in it. Pentagon already said, that Iran has attacked U.S. troops. Biden today warns the response if Iran attacks U.S. troops on the heels of several attacks against American soldiers and military installations. He warns that Iran's supreme leader today on Wednesday that the response Iran or its allies proxy attacks U.S. service members stationed in the Middle East. Our warning was that if they continue to move against those troops, we will respond, and he should be prepared. You issue a direct threat against a country like Iran when you know Russia, China, and North Korea are backing them wholeheartedly right now as we fight this struggle between BRICS and NATO. NATO was only supposed to exist to get rid of the USSR. It did that. Now it's just being used to, of course, peddle what we want to push on other people. Our sanctions are no longer working because the American dollar is losing its value across the globe. Watching inflation take over and, of course, the Western culture between us and Europe, while they have deflation, of course, in BRICS nations. And this isn't concerning to our government. No, they're not even looking at it. They could care less. They want to spend more money in other countries. It's crazy. Watching Navy destroyers into the Red Sea on Thursday, intercepting, of course, the missiles last week and drones launched by Iranian-backed Yemen Houthi rebels. And then, of course, just yesterday, now watching Syria and Lebanon launch missiles towards Israel. And Israel plans on doing a wide-scale revenge attack across these nations. Our president wants to send $40 billion to fund that side of the war. And, of course, he's going to keep sending money to Iran. We sent over $100 million or $100 billion there over the course since he's been president. We talk about the $6 billion we just opened up to allow humanitarian aid for Iran. They've been doing it. All this amongst the heels of Russia's parliament today voting to revoke the nuclear test ban treaty. That's right. They voted to revoke the nuclear test ban treaty today. First floated, of course, by Vladimir Putin last month. The bill removes Russia's ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty signed in 1996 and ratified in 2000. Of course, when the lower house passed a similar bill and Putin now signed it, this is a problem. Nuclear weapons, of course, are being tested above ground. We know that they were tested in Nevada just recently here in the United States. Now Putin has removed all weapons treaties that he had with any Western alliance. Nobody's shaking their head at that. Nobody's even saying there's a problem. I don't know about you. To me, this is a serious issue. It's only going to get worse. Watching these problems unfold day by day, hour by hour, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. I hate to be the party pooper, but people need to realize this. This is the world we live in now. This is the world we're left. Our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they're all going to have to live in. Deal with these same issues. Yes, there's 2 cargo missile ships en route right now. Yeah. That's pretty sad, Teresa, isn't it? You would rather travel to a BRICS nation than a NATO nation right now. Ridiculous. Yeah. Arab nations saying that loud and clear they're not going to sell oil with us. We're sending our Navy ships across the sea. What happens? We don't have to refuel them to get home? I don't know. We'll buy it from Russia. Guarantee that's where it's going to come from. The whole ridiculousness of everything that's unfolding. Now, Russia empowered to, of course, claim and use and test nuclear weapons above ground because the United States decided to do it because we don't care about treaties that we signed. We didn't even ratify that we're not going to do it, but we ratified saying we're not going to do it, and then all of a sudden we just do it. We don't change the treaty. We didn't revoke our treaty. We never said we weren't going to follow the treaty. It's sad. This is what's happening, though. Now we're watching, of course, Russian drones downing power lines near the Ukrainian power plant. Winter attacks are suspected at any time now. Russia's on the border of Finland. Massive amounts of troops there. Massive amounts of troops amassing on Finland's border. Nobody's talking about that. All this as a huge concern, of course, of what really happened yesterday in the Situation Room. We don't know. We won't know. As the oil market's on edge and countries have cut us off from their oil reserves and oil sales, Ukrainian leaders say that Russian Navy assets are no longer safe in the Black Sea and Crimea. What is Ukraine going to do? Their citizens are going to freeze pretty soon. If we don't have oil, we can't give it to other nations. Oh, we'll probably still sell it to China, though, because our president has to make money somehow. People are preparing for winter that are cutting firewood and collecting any scrap wood they can find. This is tragic. Power lines down in Ukraine, not Canada. Not yet, anyways. I'm sure that'll happen anytime soon. Of course, Israel airstrikes are jeopardizing relief, leaving neighborhoods in shambles. As we speak right now, Israel airstrikes are devastating parts of the Gaza Strip and, of course, the West or South Gaza, leaving neighborhoods in shambles, and strikes near the refugee camps today killed several family members and one TV chef from Al Jazeera. This is a huge problem. Now they're hitting relief camps. As we speak, one of the relief camps was hit. Several family members have been killed. Strikes are everywhere, destroying homes, businesses. Many left digging through debris. Healthcare facilities are doing their best to treat wounded, but with no supplies, because nothing could come in because they can't send relief operations in. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees said its relief operations across the Gaza Strip are being curtailed or halted altogether because of the airstrikes that are happening everywhere. even, of course, in these camps that are set up for these makeshift camps for these refugees to flee to. Now we're thinking about 17,000 others were wounded. This is crazy. This is unfolding as we speak. Terrorists are not the ones bombing. Israel's saying they're bombing them. We're not going to debate this. Israel is stating they are bombing these areas. We are seeing the devastation from the bombings Israel is doing. I'm not stating that Hamas is good. I'm stating these are Palestinian citizens that were sent into a citizen camp. Israel admits to bombing the side of the camp, and now citizens are dead. Israel's admitting to bombing the southern part of Gaza. They're using citizens as shields. That's not a question. But Israel is just killing nilly-willy now. I hate saying that word, but it's what's happening. Death tolls are ridiculous. No citizen should be getting killed on either side. Yeah, gunmen on the loose here in the U.S. Mass shootings. People are going crazy everywhere. Watching this unfold was really striking the hearts. 18 people are dead because of the main mass shooting. Dozens injured as we speak. Police are searching for the man who opened fire at 2 locations. The Central Maine Medical Center said staff were reacting to mass casualties and mass shooter events. It's crazy. Officers urging residents to lock their doors in Maine. They don't even know why this guy did it yet. Who knows? As we'll watch, of course, and find out more of what's happening here. This is just getting worse. Every time we turn around, it's getting worse. It's getting worse here. It's getting worse around the world. Yeah, if we turn the land into glass, it might solve a lot of problems, but it also short the world on oil. Because Israel wants to retaliate. Israel said today they're going to be striking in a whole bunch of countries. They listed them all. Because rebels in certain countries or small fractions of terrorists that are there fired missiles towards Israel. They didn't make them there. They didn't get to Israel. They didn't destroy anything today. But it happened. That's enough for Israel to act. So be prepared. Be prepared. As everything unfolds, that's what we got to do is embrace each other, be there for each other, and help people and our families and our neighbors out as much as possible. It's just sad because we're going to war. And when war happens, shortages happen. Just think about this. The average wage is like 30% lower than it was during the Great Depression with inflation. So going to war now would be tragic for American families. But it's happening. God bless you guys. I will be live tomorrow night. I will be on time. I was going to be on time tonight, and then I got slacking off and looking at other things and doing other things. And before I knew it, we were here. God bless you guys. We will see you then. Be safe. Be prepared. Good night.